From Walsh Field at Wakefield Memorial High School in Wakefield, Mass., this is Lexington Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Today, it's the Lexington Blue Sox with a record of 4-3-1, fourth place in the ICL, taking on the Wakefield Merchants with a record of 5-3, third place in the ICL. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Sam Feely, ready to bring you the play-by-play stories. We're going to get a little bit of a slightly early start here to this game, scheduled for 4 o'clock. We're going to get the first pitch at about 3:56 or so, as Jeff Costello is going to lead things off for the Blue Sox against the right-hander Kyle McCarthy. Left-hander, I should say, Kyle McCarthy for the Wakefield Merchants. McCarthy fires the first pitch at 3:57, and it's in there for a strike. We're underway. And Costello fouls that one off, and it's 0-2. Costello, batting .368 to begin the season, grounds his one to the second baseman, Barry, and he fires on to first, one down. So that'll bring up Thomas Russo, the third baseman, who had a nice game Thursday night in the tie against Watertown. Russo batting .462 with 2 RBIs and 3 doubles, which is 3 more than he had all of last season. Russo standing in from the left side against the lefty McCarthy, and the pitch. Taken upstairs for ball 1. Blue Sox, this looks kind of like a Blue Sox home game with the Blue Sox in the white pinstripe jerseys, Carolina blue sleeves, as this is a little blooper into shallow left. The shortstop, Josh Band, makes the catch, and quickly 2 down. So again, Blue Sox in the white pinstripe jerseys with Carolina blue sleeves and navy caps, and Wakefield in their usual royal blue jerseys with Merchants across the front in gray script, gray numbers, and gray pants and blue socks and the gray and blue cap. So here is Ross Curley to try and put together an at-bat here and make McCarthy work a little bit. He takes ball 1, 1-0. Ross batting 174, 4 singles, no RBIs, as that's outside 2-0. Hearing Rick DeAngelis telling his guys, the bats will come after a hard-fought game against Bill Sullivan of Watertown last time out. I think they left like 6 or 7 runners in scoring position that game. But, it was the first time they hadn't suffered a loss against Sullivan. The 2-1, taken down and away with a breaking ball, and it's 3-1. With the powerful Julian Alvarez on deck. Taken on the outside corner, full count. McCarthy's making his first appearance of the season, and he gets Ross to pop this one up into center field. This is going to be a long run, actually, for the center fielder, Bobby Lasano, but he makes the catch on the run, and the side is retired. So 1-2-3 go the Blue Sox in the top of the first after half an inning. Blue Sox nothing. Merchants coming up. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Well, if it's pinstripe and Carolina blue, you know who's pitching for the Lexington Blue Sox, and that would be the veteran Matt Karras. Karras is making his first start of the season, has 1 appearance, and that resulted in a 1-inning save. And that was against Arlington on June 15th, so his first action in 10 days. We'll give you the full lineups in a moment, but first here's Bobby Lozano, the center fielder, to lead things off for the Wakefield Merchants. Lozano leading the team in hitting at .444, 12 hits, 3 doubles, 3 triples, and 3 RBIs. Having a phenomenal season. And he takes down an in, it nearly hits him for ball 1. That misses 2-0. Lozano only played in 3 games last year and hit 6 for 9 in that time frame. It's 3-0 now. His previous career high in batting average was .343. That was in 2014. And that catches the outside corner, 3-1, and now Lozano will go to work. Lozano has already set a career high in triples, as that misses for ball 4, and he's aboard with a walk, and is 1 shy of his career high for doubles in a season. In fact, he's tied his career high in extra base hits for a season with 6. He had 6 in 2015. So here's the veteran Mike Sorrentino, the third baseman. A lot of veterans on this Wakefield Merchants roster. Sorrentino batting .259 with 1 double, 1 triple, and 6 RBIs. Check on the runner at first, and back safely with a head-first dive is Lozano. And time is called as the pitch hits Sorrentino, and this is very unlike Matt Karras. A walk and a hit batsman to start the ball game on the first 6 pitches. So 2 on, nobody out, and that brings up Josh Band, the shortstop, and he looks to bunt. The number 3 hitter bunting, and he takes outside ball 1. Band is 0 for 7 to begin the season, but has scored 2 runs. Looks to bunt again, and he pulls back and takes a strike, 1-1. Next offering, he foul tips that one into the mid of Derlin Tejeda to make it 1-2. Good speed on the bases in Lozano and Sorrentino. This is fouled to the left and out of play, remains 1-2. The defensive alignment for the Blue Sox in just a second, but first the 1-2 again. Slider down and in, 2-2. Alvarez, Feliciano, Costello left to right in the outfield. Russo, Curley, Ruaco, and Silvestro third to first in the infield. Tejeda catching Karras. And that is just outside full count. Matt Karras shaking his head, as it did look like the home plate umpire was about to signal strike 3. The payoff pitch, grounded to second. It'll be fielded by Rocco. Over to Curley for 1. On to first, a big double play. 4-6-3. That does move Lozano up to third, but now there are 2 down. And that'll bring up the cleanup man, Mark Weber. Weber is in his first season with the Merchants and is off to a blazing start. He is a .438 average with 2 doubles, a triple, and 3 RBIs. He takes strike 1, 0-1. 7 hits in 16 at-bats in 5 games. But he's only scored 1 run, for what it's worth. outside to the left-handed hitting right fielder Weber, and it's 1-1. And this is grounded down the first base line, past the diving Silvestro, but it's foul. Lucky for Silvestro because he wasn't close to that one. If that stayed fair, that's easily a single. That's easily a run and maybe a double for Weber. The 1-2 runs inside, nearly hits him, and it's 2-2. Brendan Barry is on deck if we get that far. Karras comes set, and the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Slider that was down and away from the left-handed hitting Weber, and the side is retired. Great job by Matt to get out of the 2-on, nobody-out jam. After one complete, still Blue Sox nothing, Merchants nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start at just $50 per game. Video broadcasts also available. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Well, it was sunny about an hour before the game, but cloud covers rolled in here in Wakefield, and we were fearing, is there going to be rain? Well, it was nice that it cooled off, but 70 degrees, and it is starting to spit a little bit as Julian Alvarez will come to the plate. The full lineup for the Blue Sox, it's Costello in right, Russo at third, Curley at short, Alvarez in left, as Alvarez takes ball one. Dorian Rojas is the DH. Justin Silvestro is at first. Josue Feliciano is in center. Chris Ruaco is in second. And Derlin Tejeda rounds out the lineup behind the plate. That's on the inside corner, the right-handed hitting Alvarez, 1-1. He jackknifed a bit, but it was a strike. And he grounds this one to the left side and backhanded by the shortstop Band, and he can't handle it. It'll be a base hit, as that was hit deep in the hole and wasn't even going to get Alvarez. So that's Alvarez's sixth hit now in 21 at-bats, upping his .250 average to enter play. Here's Dorian Rojas, who had a successful debut at second base for the Blue Sox on Thursday night. Made a couple of very good plays as he takes ball one outside. He's the DH today, however. And Dorian is batting .250, 1 for 4 with a double and 1 RBI. And he chops this one down the third baseline and foul, 1-1. No lights here at Walsh Field across the driveway from Wakefield High. And about a football field away from the newly renovated football and lacrosse field up the hill. As that's down and away, 2-1. Alvarez with a small lead at first, being held on by McGonigal, the first baseman for Wakefield, as that's way down and away, 3-1. This is skied into right field. Back goes Weber, and he makes the catch. One down. There is a lot of room to right field here at Walsh Field, as I've told you before. Gotta get every stitch of a ball and then some if you want to hit it out. Here's Justin Silvestro getting the start at first today, lefty against lefty, and that breaking ball slips out of McCarthy's hand for ball one. So Alvarez at first after the game's first hit. And Silvestro called time rather quickly. Now he's back in the box. A pickoff attempt at first. Alvarez not really a threat to run, and he gets back safely without a tag. Outside, 2-0. As looked to be a cutter there. Outside again, 3-0, and another 3-ball count for McCarthy. Now, can Silvestro capitalize? Dorian was ahead 3-1 and ended up flying out the other way. And he takes ball 4. So first and second one out. That'll bring up Josue Feliciano. Feliciano looking good with the Carolina blue compression sleeve on his right elbow, on his right arm, underneath the Carolina blue tee that the Blue Sox wear. Going the solid Carolina blue socks as well, as opposed to the black and Carolina blue stirrups. Looking good. Strike one. Sway batting .250. No RBIs, 2 singles. And he grounds this one to the left side, could be 2, banned to Berry for 1. On to first, the throw pulls the first baseman off the bag, and the infield umpire says Sway is safe. Immediately, McGonigal pointed to the home plate umpire for an appeal. Dave Elligood is coming out, and now the umpires are going to confer. From here, it looked like Sway was out on the tag, swiping around, and he is out. Not much complaint from Sway, so that ends the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left. After 1.5, it is the Blue Sox nothing and the Merchants nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow Local Sports Productions on the web at www.localsportsproductions.com, facebook.com/localsportsproductions, and on Twitter at LSP37. 17 pitches in that bottom of the first for Matt, only 8 for strikes. But the important thing is, you didn't allow a run. You'll deal with Brendan Berry, Anthony Ciceri, and Paul McGonigal due up for the Merchants here in the bottom of the second. And Berry strokes this one into left center, and that gets down in front of Sway, and it gets past Sway. That's Costello in center field, not Sway, as there was a change in the defensive positioning, so Costello lets it get by him, and that is a leadoff double on the first pitch for Brendan Berry. So Sway is now in left, and Costello is in center, and Alvarez is in right. Karras spins back towards second, and that'll bring up Anthony Ciceri. That's in there for strike one. Ciceri batting .294 with 1 triple and 3 RBIs. Outside, 1-1. This is a Wakefield Merchants team that leads the ICL in hitting as a team at 291. This is fouled towards the Blue Sox dugout. Watch your lips. 1-2. The Blue Sox, meanwhile, are 6th in the ICL at 227 hitting as a team. Merchants have also scored the second most runs at 40. Only behind Watertown's 42. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Cesare is down for the first out. Second strikeout for Matt. That'll bring up Paul McGonigal, the first baseman. McGonigal's only playing his second game, was 0 for 2 in his first appearance as he takes a slider outside for ball one. Ball one. He was 0 for 2 against Somerville back on June 7th. That misses just upstairs, and it's 2-0. The full lineup for Wakefield, now that I can give it to you: Bobby Lozano in center, Mike Sorrentino at third, Josh Band at short, Mark Weber at right, Brendan Berry at second, Anthony Cesare at DH, Paul McGonigal at first, Joe Barry behind the plate, and Louis Tarantino in left. 3-0 the count now to McGonigal. That'll catch the inside corner and make it 3-1 with a cutter. And now McGonigal will go to work. This is grounded to the right side. Ruaco has it, fires to first. In time, 2 down, runner moves up to third. So I'll bring up Joe Barry, the catcher, to try and bring the runner in. He takes strike 1. Barry's batting .231, 3 for 13 with 2 RBIs. All 3 of his hits are singles. That is on the inside corner to make it 0-2. Barry is in his 5th season with the Merchants. He is a career .210 hitter. And a slider bends back over the inside part of the plate for strike 3 called to Barry, and the side is retired. So once again, Karras works out of a runner in scoring position with nobody out jam. He has 3 strikeouts, and after 2 complete, it is still the Blue Sox nothing and the Merchants nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at www.lexingtonbluesox.com, facebook.com/LexingtonBlueSox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left for the Blue Sox. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 men left for the Merchants. McCarthy's thrown only 26 pitches through the first 2 innings. And he will deal with the 8, 9, and 1 hitters, Chris Ruaco, Derlin Tejeda, and Jeff Costello. I accidentally wrote Ryan McCarthy when I was filling in my lineup card, my score sheet for this game in Jeff Costello's spot. And it's not surprising that I could think that because, well, you have someone named McCarthy pitching, and then you have Ryan McCarthy, who played for the Blue Sox last year, usually played right field and usually wore number 7 like Costello does, as Rocco fouls the first pitch into the screen on a bunt attempt, and it's 0-1. Rock takes ball 1, 1-1. Rock batting 2 for 18, but with 2 RBIs to begin the season. That's in there for a strike, 1-2. Rock has struck out a team high 7 times this season. It's outside, 2-2. Maybe not what you expect from your number 8 hitter. And he fouls that one off, putting together a good at-bat here, 2-2 still. The Blue Sox, as a team, have struck out the 3rd most times in the ICL, behind Reading and Watertown at 53. Make that 54 as Rock goes down. One down, that brings up Derlin Tejeda. Tejeda's gotten a lot more action this year than he did last year, as he takes up and away ball 1 as the breeze starts to pick up from right to left. And Tejeda batting 200 with 1 RBI and 2 doubles. Both of his hits are doubles. 1-1 the count now to Derlin as he fouled that last one off. The spits of rain were very brief, but we'll see if it comes back. The 1-1. Fouled off at the plate, and it's 1-2. Mr. Russo.
Yes, sir.
Here you go. Not a big fan of trail mix for some reason. Thank you, though. Outside, 2-2. Breaking ball misses well outside, 3-2. And he grounds this one up the middle, backhanded spin, throw, and it pulls the first baseman off the bag. And Derlin reaches, as that was a tough play for Band, and he had to spin to throw. That'll be I'm going to rule that a single, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bruce overrules me and says that's an E6. So, for now, second hit of the game for the Blue Sox. The lineup turns over for Jeff Costello, who moved to center field after the lineups were submitted. Grounded out to second on an 0-2 pitch, his leading off the ball game as he takes strike 1. That is going to miss inside, 1-1. Blue Sox have been doing a better job of making McCarthy work this inning. Check on the runner at first. They may have him thrown out. Derlin will slide, and he is out. Derlin was caught leading. I don't know why he was that far off the bag, but 2 down, and now the base is empty as the cut ceiling goes 1-3-6. Full windup in the pitch from McCarthy. Runs inside, nearly hits him, and it's 2-1. Down and in, 3-1. With Thomas Russo on deck. Costello was named the NEPSAC Athlete of the Year as he foul tips that one not into the mitt of Barry. A very prestigious honor. And he will be playing baseball at Northeastern next year. Payoff pitch. Chop to the third baseman, fielded by Sorrentino, fires onto first, in time, and the side is retired. So we're still in a bit of a stalemate here. After 2.5, still Blue Sox nothing, Merchants nothing. This is Blue Sox. Excuse me. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Coverage of Blue Sox baseball on LSP continues Tuesday night at 8:10 p.m. when the Blue Sox make their second of 2 trips of the regular season to Trumfield in Somerville to take on the Somerville Royals. Listen live or watch live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on YouTube. So here's Luis Tarantino, 9-1-2 hitters to bat here in the bottom of the third against Matt Karras, who threw a much more efficient 13 pitches last inning, has a total of 30 through the first 2. And Tarantino looked to bunt his way on, pulled back, and took strike 1. Tarantino's playing in only his second game, was 0 for 3 with a run scored in his first game, and that was back... that was actually just Thursday against Somerville, as he fouls that one towards the Wakefield dugout. 1-2 now the count to Tarantino. Karras winds and delivers. Popped up on the infield into foul ground. Now Derlin looking for it, and he makes the basket catch for out number 1. So the lineup turns over for Bobby Lozano, who walked on 5 pitches leading off the bottom of the first. As I mentioned, Lozano having a monster season to begin in the first 8 games. I mentioned batting .444 as he swings and misses and loses his helmet in the process. Strike 1. Lozano is 3rd in the ICL in hitting at .444 right now, and is 2nd in the league, tied for the league lead in hits. He skies this one into right center, and chasing after it is Alvarez, and he makes the catch outstretched. Looked like he was going to collide with Costello there as it was into right center, and one of them got a kind of a late break on it. I'd certainly look from here that was going to be like a pop-up just past the infield, but kept carrying in this breeze. So 2 down. That'll bring up Mike Sorrentino, the third baseman, who was hit with the first pitch he saw in the first inning. This one misses in the opposite direction, down and away to the right-handed hitting Sorrentino, and it's 1-0. Cutter misses inside, and it's 1-1. Sorrentino, as he takes strike 2, strike 1, 2-1. As he chops this one to the shortstop, backhanded by Curley. Sats fires to first, stretch by Silvestro, and he makes the play. He hopped off the field a little gingerly. I don't know if he somehow hurt himself, or maybe he's just like impressed with the stretch he made, but nevertheless, the side is retired. Through 3, we're scoreless. Blue Sox nothing, Merchants nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on Local Sports Productions. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Blue Sox as we enter the top of the fourth. Thomas Russo, Ross Curley, and Julian Alvarez. This is the part of the lineup you want coming up if you want to break a scoreless stalemate here. Russo popped up to short his first time up in the first. As that misses upstairs for ball one. McCarthy has faced one over the minimum through the first three. That's low. 2-0. Threw 18 pitches last inning. So the Blue Sox finally got him to work a little bit. Check swing. That's inside. And it's 3-0. That's some late action there as Russo was flinching there. And Russo strokes this one into right field. Back goes Weber to the wall, and it's going to bounce off the base of the wall. Russo's on his way to second, and he will keep going. He's on his way to third, but he will get back before the throw gets to the third baseman, Sorrentino. Russo's fourth double of the year. That had a chance to get out, too, to the cavernous right field. So a runner in scoring position for the Blue Sox. Second time they've had a man in scoring position today. That'll bring up Ross Curley, who flew out to center on a payoff pitch to end the first. Third baseman Sorrentino is in on the, actually both corner infielders are coming in, and Ross swings and misses at a pitch up and away for strike one. Well, it wouldn't be the first, if Ross were to show bunt here, it wouldn't be the first time the number 3 hitter in this game would show bunt as he fouls that one off and it's 0-2. We saw Band square a couple times when there was first and second, nobody out in the first, but then he grounded into a 4-6-3 double play. The 0-2 reached for and fouled away over the Merchants dugout and onto the street. Well, with 2 strikes, the corner infielder's back up, but the third baseman, Sorrentino, is still pretty close to the line as that misses outside 1-2. Curveball there. Didn't come close to the zone. Chopper to third, and it's going to get past the third baseman. Shortstop fields it. Throw to first is not in time as the throw was unable to dig out. The throw was McGonigal, and it'll be an infield single for Ross. First and third, nobody out. I'll bring up Julian Alvarez, and we're going to have a stoppage of play as it looks like the third baseman, Sorrentino, has to change his glove. And while that goes on, the catcher Barry and the shortstop Band go out to have a word with their pitcher McCarthy. Tell him, you got this. We'll see if he does against Julian Alvarez, who can crank one to left in a hurry. Julian singled his first time up, an infield single at that, and it's strike one on the outside corner. And he skies this one into left field. This should be deep enough to score the run. Making the catch against the ivy is Tarantino. Coming home is Russo. He will score, and the Blue Sox are on the board first. It's 1-0 on the sacrifice fly by Alvarez. So for Russo, that's his 6th run scored of the season. And for Alvarez, that's his 4th RBI, which ties him for the team lead with Alex Wojcik. And now Dorian Rojas flips this one down the right field line and fair for a base hit. Curley will hold at second, and the Blue Sox not wasting any time getting the offense going again. So first and second, one out for Justin Silvestro, drew a 4-pitch walk his first time up. Blue Sox starting to feel it here after, it was a very quiet first inning. Got a couple base runners in the second, but it didn't really materialize. And they started to work the count in the third inning, and now it's paying off with 3 of the first 4 men reaching and one of them scoring. Stroh takes outside, ball 1. Interesting thing about this home plate umpire, he actually points to the left as the runner goes from second, and sliding into third safely without a throw is Curley. So a stolen base for Ross. Took that on the pitcher all the way. It's 2-0. First and third. And now Dorian is caught up between first and second, and he's going to get back safely. A little discombobulation here for the Wakefield defense. They're also concerned about maybe Ross breaking for home, and Ross was enough of a distraction to allow Rojas to get back safely. So 2-0, first and third, 1 out, and another check on first. And Dorian was back safely without a tag, and Ross was dancing off of third. Now the pitch comes home, and this is into right field, and this will be caught on the run by the right fielder Weber. Tagging from third is Ross. He will score standing up. It's 2-0, the second sacrifice fly of the inning. So for Silvestro, that's his 2nd RBI of the season, and for Curley, he scores his 4th run as the rain starts to pick up again. And this is looped down the right field line, and this will get foul for strike 1. It's not heavy rain by any means, but it's certainly more noticeable than that spitting back in the first or second inning. So we've had 2 singles, a double, and 2 sacrifice flies that have given the Blue Sox a 2-0 lead here in the top of the 4th. Breaking ball outside, 1-1. Lefty against righty. McCarthy delivers, and this is grounded to short, fielded by Band. He will fire on to first, high throw, and it almost pulls the first baseman McGonigal off the bag, but he stays with it for the out there, retires the side. Second time that's happened to sway a tough play to the shortstop. Obviously, the double play, eventually his safe call was overturned. This one, the infield umpire had needed no help. So, after 3.5, we're halfway home. It is the Blue Sox 2 and the Merchants nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start at just $50 per game. Video broadcasts also available. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. So finally a breakthrough for the offense as the Blue Sox take a 2-0 lead. Now let's see if the Merchants can respond, and they have the heart of the order due up. 3, 4, and 5. Josh Band, Mark Weber, and Brendan Berry due up. Band hitting to that 4-6-3 double play with first and second, nobody out in the first. Karras only needed 10 pitches to get him 1-2-3 in the third. And he swings and misses for strike one to Span. That was up at the brim of his helmet, I think. 0-1. Line down the left field line and foul to make it 0-2. Third baseman Russo behind the bag and close to the line, as that's a slider down and in, 1-2. Karras has been wanting to throw that slider to both lefties and righties. And this is popped up into center field. Costello, and now Sway calls him off. As Costello was called for it initially, but he lost it, and about 30 feet to his left, the ball ended up. Thankfully, Sway caught it, and it's one down. So 7 in a row retired by Karras after the leadoff double in the second, and that'll bring up Mark Weber, the right fielder, who struck out swinging to end the first. And this is skied into center field. This one, Costello, going all the way back to the wall, and that is off the base of the wall, fielding it and getting it into Curley is Costello, and with a double, it's Mark Weber on the first pitch. So runner in scoring position, 1 out, and that brings up Brendan Barry, who takes strike one. Barry has a double of his own right. Both Wakefield hits are doubles. Slider can't get back over the inside part of the plate to the right-handed hitting Barry, and it's 1-1. St. Karras with his slider, not only throwing it to lefties and righties, but throwing inside and outside to lefties and righties. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Looked like a change-up there, and it's 1-2. Infield back. This is popped up. There's ample foul territory here at Walsh Field, but that's getting over the fence and onto the street. Karras comes set. And the 1-2 again. Popped up into foul territory. Silvestro will watch it go over the Merchants' dugout. First base coach was a little bit in his way there when he was trying to get to the ball, but thankfully no harm, no foul, as the ball was out of play anyway. Sixth pitch of the at-bat upcoming. Here it is. This is lined into right center field. This will get down for a base hit. This should score Weber. Costello fields it. He'll fire it home. Cut off by Silvestro, and the Merchants are on the board. It's 2-1 rather. So here's Anthony Cesare, who struck out swinging his first time up in the second. Karras now looking to roll a double play ball. And this is lined down the right field line, but foul for strike one. Barry takes a secondary lead at second, and that's a slider in there for strike two, 0-2. Barry's not attempted a stolen base this season. I'll check on him at first. A close play. They got him! Barry slow to come off the field. Silvestro just got him on the leg before he got back into first base, and that is a 1-3 pickoff. And this is probably grounded to second. Fielding it is Rocco. Way off the bag was Silvestro, but Karras comes back to bail him out, and the side is retired just like that. So 1 run on 2 hits and nobody left. After 4 complete, Blue Sox 2, Merchants 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow LSP on the web at www.localsportsproductions.com, facebook.com/localsportsproductions, and on Twitter at LSP37. So 8, 9, and 1 due up here in the top of the 5th for the Blue Sox as they look to get that run back after taking a 2-0 lead going into the last half inning, but now 2-1 as Rocco fouls that one off for strike 1. Rocco struck out swinging his first time up. And he grounds this one to the shortstop Band. He fields it, fires on to first, quickly 1 down. So we're waiting on Derlin Tejeda, and we are going to get a pinch hitter, it appears. And it looks like it's going to be Eduardo Soto getting the pinch hit nod here for Derlin. So the day's done for Derlin as Soto enters play at a .250 average, 1 homer and 2 RBIs. He takes strike 1. Righty eschews the batting gloves and takes way outside. It skips to the backstop. 1-1. And Dave Elligood is going to call time and come out to the mound to have a word with McCarthy. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors, and 2 men left for the Blue Sox. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, and 2 men left for the Merchants. Elligood has said his piece. And now Soto awaiting the 1-1. Here it is. He pops that one up into shallow right. Chasing is Barry into foul territory, and he makes the catch, straddling the line. That took a couple turns on him. So much for the pinch hitter. 2 down, and the lineup turns over for Jeff Costello. Costello is 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. And the third baseman, Sorrentino, comes in on the lip of the infield grass, and Costello takes ball 1 outside. Upstairs, 2-0. McCarthy winds and delivers, and this is looped down the right field line and foul for strike 1. Down and in, and it's 3-1. With Thomas Russo on deck. On the outside corner, strike 2. Costello waited, then took a step, and then the home plate umpire called a strike. And now he flips this one into shallow right, and this will be caught on the run by Weber for the out that retires the side. So 1-2-3 go the Blue Sox. First time they've actually gone down in order since the first. And after 4.5, it is the Blue Sox 2 and the Merchants 1. This is Blue Sox Baseball and Local Sports Productions. You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at LexingtonBlueSox.com, Facebook.com/LexingtonBlueSox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL. Changes for the Blue Sox as Borja Jones-Barasaluthe takes over on the mound, and Alex Wojtek is now behind the plate. Wojtek will bat in the number 9 spot. And it'll be McGonigal, Berry, and Tarantino due up here in the bottom of the 5th as McGonigal, the number 7 hitter, takes ball 1. And he lines this one into right field. This is sinking fast. It'll get down in front of Alvarez for a base hit. He misplays the ball, and on his way to second will be McGonigal's the tying run in scoring position. That'll be a single and an E9. And once again, the Merchants getting a runner to second. Off the bat, here's Joe Barry. Will he bunt here? He does square. It's outside, ball 1, and Wojtek bluffs the throw to first. 1-0. Barry squares again, and that is on the outside corner for strike 1, 1-1. Third baseman Russo creeping in, so is the first baseman Silvestro. Not squaring, and that gets away from Wojtek, and on his way to third on the wild pitch will be McGonigal. So the tying run at third now for the Merchants. Nobody out. The corner infielder's still in. The middle infielder's playing back. Now the infielders all come in, and the pitch, swing and a miss. Breaking ball away, and it's 2-2. Curveball in the dirt away, and it's a full count. Borja has to get his man here, because a double play would tie the game if he gets on. On the outside corner, strike 3 called. Big strikeout there for Borja. Barry goes down looking for the second time, and that'll bring up Luis Tarantino. Tarantino popped up to Tejeda in foul territory, his first time up, leading off the third. Borja comes set. And the pitch misses inside, ball one. Infield still in with the runner at third and less than 2 outs. The pitch. Slider outside, 2-0. So hitters count for the light-hitting Tarantino. Up and away, 3-0. And he won't go after that one, but it's on the outside corner. Strike one, 3-1. If Tarantino were to walk here, it at least does set up the double play, but it would have to come off the bat of Bobby Lozano. He chops this one to the right side. Silvestro looks the runner back at third, and he steps on the bag, and another big out for Borja. 2 down, and the lineup turns over for Lozano. Lozano is walked and flown out to right, and Rick DeAngelis is going to come out to the mound to have a word with Borja and Wojtek. There is action behind Borja in the bullpen. Can't see who's making the throws from here. The jersey number is facing the opposite way. So here's Lozano. He's due. Has a walk and a fly out to right, as I said. The pitch. Misses down and away, ball one. McGonigal led off with a single and advanced to second, an error by the right fielder Alvarez, as that's lowered away 2-0. And advanced to third on a wild pitch, but since then, strikeout of Berry, ground out to first of Tarantino. Hitters count once again for Lozano. And the pitch. That catches the outside corner, 2-1. And you know, Borja's just trying to get him to roll one over, ground one the other way. Check swing. They'll appeal. And he went. And the Wakefield bench is heated at that call. So 2-2 instead of 3-1. Big difference there. The pitch from Borja misses outside, full count. If you're Wakefield, you think, well, Lozano should be on first now, but still got one more pitch to get. 3-2 the count. Tying run at third. The pitch. Grounded to short. Fielded by Curley. Sets. Fires to first. He's safe. The throw pulled Silvestro off the bag. The run scores, and we are tied. So Lozano at first. We have a 2-2 ball game, and Mike Sorrentino coming to the plate. And Sorrentino takes strike one. Lozano getting a decent lead at first. And the pitch, he does not go, and it's down and away, 1-1. Next offering, breaking ball upstairs, 2-1. I think this would end up being Borja's only inning. The pitch will have to wait as they throw over to first, and back safely is Lozano. Two and one the count. The pitch, runner goes. No, the batter Sorrentino called time at the last moment. So that negates a potential stolen base for Lozano. Borja comes set. Now will throw over to first, and back safely is Lozano again. Runner goes, the pitch is high, and then he freezes and heads back to third, heads back to first rather, and it's 3-1. Three and one to Sorrentino. One run home that's already tied the game. And that is looped into right field. In comes Alvarez. Out goes Ruaco. Alvarez makes the catch on the run, and the side is retired. But the damage has been done. The Wakefield Merchants tie the game. One run, two hits, one error, and one man left. After 5 complete, Blue Sox 2, Merchants 2. This is Blue Sox Baseball on LSP. Coverage of Blue Sox baseball on LSP continues Tuesday night at 8:10 p.m. when the Blue Sox visit Trump Field in Somerville to take on the Somerville Royals. Watch or listen live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on YouTube. So the Blue Sox find themselves tied again. They have the same man at the plate due up here as Russo lines this one up the middle for a base hit that got the Blue Sox the lead in the fourth, and Russo's now 2 for 3 after he doubled and scored in the fourth. New pitcher for the Wakefield Merchants is Greg Johnson, making his 3rd appearance of the season. He's 2-0 with a 2.8 ERA in 10 innings of work. He's allowed 12 hits, 8 runs, 4 of which are earned, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, and hit 2 batters. Ross looks to bunt. It's in the dirt, and it's ball 1. So once again, a situation in which the number 3 man might be bunting here. Curley and then Alvarez, and if anybody Dorian Rojas do on it, pending a double play. That's on the corner at the knees, 1-1. Johnson in his first season with the Merchants. Close play at first on the pickoff attempt, but safe is Russo. Johnson comes set again. Curley squares, and he did not offer at it, and it's ball 2, 2-1. So we'll give you the lines on Karras and McCarthy in a little bit. Throw over to first, and safe again is Russo. And another bunt. This is a good one down the first base line. Johnson fields it, and he fires onto first. It's a successful sacrifice. Sacrifice goes 1-3. And the go-ahead run in scoring position for the Blue Sox. And Julian Alvarez coming to the plate. He had a sacrifice fly that drove in Russo with our first run of the game back in the fourth. He also singled leading off the second. The pitch, and he pops this one up at a foul ground. First baseman catcher converging, and it gets into the bleachers. Strike one. Infield back, second baseman Barry pinching the bag. And it's a slider that misses up and away, 1-1. This is grounded to the third baseman. Ricochets off of him, goes back to the shortstop, spins, fires to first, and that'll be an infield single for Alvarez. Well, if there's any consolation for the Merchants, it puts the double play back in order. But it'll bring up Dorian Rojas, who is 1 for 2 with a fly out to right and a single. And that misses outside to D, 1-0. Johnson misses outside, 2-0. We got the line of McCarthy. We'll give it to you in just a second after this pitch. Here it is. Outside, 3-0. McCarthy went 5 innings, allowed 5 hits, 2 runs, both of which were earned, walked 1, struck out 1, and threw 73 pitches, 42 for strikes. The pitch, down and away, ball. That's a strike, never mind. That looked like it was around Dorian's shins and outside, but 3-1. Runner bluffs off of first, and that is ball 4. So the bases are loaded with 1 out. And Justin Silvestro, who led the team in RBIs last year with 21, steps to the plate. Stroh has an RBI to his credit today on a sacrifice fly. He's also walked, so no official at bat. Johnson comes set. Corner infielder's in, and Silvestro grounds this one down the first baseline, foul. Strike 1. Russo on third, Alvarez on second, Rojas on first. That's in the dirt, bounces away from the catcher, bounces off his helmet, but because of a lot of bodies obscuring where the ball was, the catcher, Barry, and the umpire, and even Silvestro to an extent, no advance by the runners, it's 1-1. The ball also never got very far away from home plate, so definitely not enough to advance the runners. The 1-1. Grounded to the right side, past the diving first baseman McGonigal. 1 run scores. Being held at third is Alvarez. Silvestro delivers his second RBI of the game. The Blue Sox have the lead again at 3-2. So that'll bring up Josue Feliciano. He's grounded out to short to end the fourth, and also grounded into a 6-4-3 double play ending the second. He looks to squeeze, and he fouls it towards the Wakefield dugout for strike one. Of course, Sway trying to squeeze there reminds you of the squeeze he won the ICL championship with 2 years ago. Doesn't squeeze here, takes outside, 1-1. First baseman way in on the grass. This is looped down the right field line, but foul. And Sway realizes he was just ahead of that, just behind that, rather. Alvarez on third, Rojas on second, Silvestro on first. Popped up, foul and out of play. Alvarez trying to make the reliever Johnson come to him. Feliciano trying to make the reliever Johnson come to him. The pitch. This is grounded to second. It takes a weird hop off the grass. Throw to second, one, on to first, safe, and another run scores. That took the tough hop it took off the lip of the infield grass coming to Brendan Berry was enough to slow down the play and allow the run to score. So Alvarez scores, Rojas to third, Silvestro out 4-6, and Feliciano aboard with a fielder's choice. It's 4-2. And now Chris Ruaca will take up and away ball one. So first and third, 2 down now. On the outside corner, 1-1. Rocco hoping to get on board to allow the power hitter Alex Wojtek, who is back in the number 9 slot as he pinch hit for Derlin, on deck. But that's swung on miss. Throw down to second, and Feliciano will get there safely. The throw to second was airmailed. In to score is Rojas, and on his way to third is Feliciano. A little Keystone Cops there. So Rojas will score on the E2. It's a stolen base for Feliciano. He advances on the E8. And now first and third, runner on third. 3 runs home this inning, 2 down. And a 1-2 count. And he swings and misses for strike 3. But the Blue Sox get the lead back and get a little insurance at that too. 3-run score on 3 hits and 2 errors, and they leave 1. After 5.5, Blue Sox 5. Merchants 2. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. New pitcher for the Blue Sox is Bill Christopher, the slingshot sidewinder right-hander. We'll give you the lines on Matt and Borja in a little bit. Bill is pitching his second game. On June 19th against Andre, he went 1 1/3 innings, allowed no runs, no hits, and struck out 2. As the first pitch to Josh Band is fouled off the dish for strike 1. So, Karras will get a no decision, and right now, Borja is in line for the win. Borja does get a blown save as well. That is low, ball 1, 1-1. Swing and a miss. Wow, that dove way down and into his back foot, and it's 1-2. So Band, Weber, and Barry, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, due up as the sun shows itself again. And as such, and just in time, it's a called third strike for Josh Band. He's down, 1 down. Band is now 0 for 3. That'll bring up Mark Weber, who scored the Merchants' first run in the 4th after doubling on the first pitch he saw. Also struck out swinging to end the first. In on the hands of the lefty Weber, and it's 1-0. Nice curveball on the outside corner to make it 1-1. That's in the dirt, 2-1. And this is chopped right back to the pitcher. Christopher has a little bit of a bobble with it, but recovers and throws it, and he threw it wide, but Silvestro kept his toes on the bag. So some fielding adventures here for both teams today. That is a nerve-wracking 1-3 putout, and there are 2 down for Brendan Barry. Barry is 2 for 2. With an RBI single, he will chop this one up the middle. Curly Fields fires onto first. That is a much cleaner throw, and the side is retired on just 9 pitches. After 6 complete, it is the Blue Sox 5 and the Merchants 2. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start at just $50 per game. Video broadcasts also available. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. 5 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, and 3 men left for the Blue Sox. 2 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors, and 3 men left for the Merchants. Finally, I have the lines on Karras and Borja for you. Matt Karras, who's going to get a no decision, went 4 innings, allowed 3 hits, 1 run, which was earned, walked 1, struck out 3, 54 pitches, 36 for strikes. Borja gets a blown save, but is currently in line for the win. 1 inning, 2 hits, 1 run, which was unearned, no walks, 1 strikeout, singular, 24 pitches, only 11 for strikes. Bill Christopher, if he pitches next inning, would get the save if he can hold on for the win. So here's Alex Wojtek to lead things off in the top of the 7th, and he swings and misses for strike 1. So 3 different batters have batted in the 9 spot in 3 plate appearances today. You had Derlin in the 3rd, outside 1-1. Soto pinch hitting for him in the 5th, and now Wojtek getting his first at-bat of the game here in the 7th. This is lined up the middle and through for a base hit. Johnson's still out there, and he allows a leadoff single for the 2nd straight inning. Blue Sox have had the leadoff man on in 4 of the 7 innings today, the 2nd, 3rd, 6th, and now 7th. Lineup turns over for Jeff Costello. I'm so tempted to call him Ryan McCarthy because of the screw-up I made on my on my score sheet, but Jeff 0 for 3 with 2 groundouts. Looks to bunt here. It's a good one. Fielded by Johnson. Fires on to first. No chance. A bunt single for Costello. Wojtek up to 2nd. And now it's 1st and 2nd, nobody out for Thomas Russo. What a day he's having, 2 for 3 with a double, a single, and 2 runs scored. Russo now has the league lead in doubles with his 4th they got earlier today. Now he looks to bunt, and he fouls it off for strike 1. Corner infielder's in as a result of that play. He looks to bunt again, pulls back, it's a ball, 1-1. There's a 3-way tie for the league lead in doubles with 3 between entering play today between Russo and Lozano and Chasen. Dan Chase of Wartown. This is another good bunt down the 3rd base line, and it's another bunt single. So bases loaded, nobody out on 3 singles, 2 of which were bunt singles. And here's Ross Curley with a chance to put this one out of reach if he can stroke one to the gap. Ross is 1 for 2, flew out to center to end the 1st, singled and scored in the 4th, laid down a sacrifice bunt in the 6th. And he fouls that one off for strike 1. Wojtek at 3rd, Costello at 2nd, Russo at 1st, 0-1 the count to Curley. The pitch, down low, 1-1. Like Rick was saying after the 1-1 tie against Watertown Thursday night, the bats will come, and they've come today. This is grounded up the middle. It's past the diving second baseman, Barry. Everybody goes station to station, and the run scores from 3rd, Wojtek. It is now 6-2. So 4 straight singles. And for Ross, that is RBI number 1 on the season. So here's Alvarez. Again, bases loaded, nobody out. 2 for 2 with 2 singles, a run scored, and a sacrifice fly. And he takes strike 1. Just heard Matt Karras say, be smart, don't run us out of this. That almost happened last inning, actually. Breaking ball, misses upstairs, 1-1. That came down a couple more inches. I think Julian would have sent that one to Linfield. Fouls that one off and drops, it fouls it into the mitt, rather, of Barry, and drops to one knee in the process. 1-2. Dorian Rojas on deck. The pitch. Popped up. Foul ground. And out of play behind me. Pitch, runners bluff off of their bases, and it's ball 2, 2-2. Infield in. Swing and a miss at a high fastball, strike 3, and Julian is out number 1. So that'll bring up Dorian Rojas, 1 for 2. Walked and scored last inning. And he pops this one to the right, foul and out of play for strike 1. Also singled in the 4th and flew out to right in the 2nd. Johnson's still out there, and it doesn't look like anyone's warming behind him. And he grounds this one to the left side, past the diving third baseman, Sorrentino. 1 run scores. The next one will be held, but he will try for home anyway after Tarantino botches the ball in left field, and it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8-2. So Dorian will get credit for 1 RBI, and then Russo scores on the E7. And now here's Justin Silvestro, already has 2 RBIs to his credit today. Looking for another one here with 2 men on base, and that's fouled to the left, and that will get out of play, despite the best efforts of the third baseman, Sorrentino, and the left fielder, Tarantino. 0-1. So he started with 4 straight singles, and Alvarez struck out on a high pitch. And then Rojas with that smash single past the diving third baseman, Sorrentino. Johnson just looking for a double play here. He will get a strike at the knees, 0-2. Josue Feliciano on deck. And time is called. And that is just fouled off at the dish by Silvestro. Still 0-2. Silvestro, in his career with the Blue Sox, has played every position except catcher. He has even pitched. And he grounds this one to the left side, fielded by Band, and he will go to second for 1, and they won't even get him. Wow. I was about to say that's all they'll get. They definitely weren't going to get Silvestro, given how deep in the hole that was hit and how slowly it was hit. So Curley is safe at third. Rojas is at second. That'll be an infield single for Silvestro. What is that, 3 or 4 infield singles, including 2 bunt singles this inning? And Sway will foul that one off for strike 1. Sway's the 8th man to bat in the inning. He grounded into a 6-4-3 double play to end the 2nd, grounded out to short to end the 4th, and nearly ended the 6th when he hit a ground ball, but as he tries to squeeze, and it's 0-2. But he was called safe, and then some poor defense by the Merchants on a double steal attempt, including Sway steal, allowed another run to score. 0-2 to Sway with Chris Ruaco on deck, and he pops this one up down the right field line, and this will fall foul. I don't think that would have been deep enough to score Curley. Sway just trying to get one up the middle here. And he breaks his bat, a little looper on the infield, and it's caught by the second baseman, Brendan Berry, for out number 2. So that'll bring up Chris Ruaco, the number 8 hitter, and the 9th man to bat in the inning. Rock is 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a ground out to short. In the bottom of the 7th, when the Merchants will have to do some heavy lifting to get back into this game, as that's fouled off for strike 1, they'll have the 6, 7, and 8 hitters, Anthony Ciceri, Paul McGonigal, and Joe Barry. 0-1 the count to Ruaco. Bases filled with Blue Sox, and a breaking ball drops in there for strike 2. And he reaches for that one, fouls it into the screen, remains 0-2. There's a new fence installed, new backstop here installed at Walsh Field. Looks good. Breaking ball misses inside, 1-2, and that came close to hitting him. And what a way to score another run and get Wojtek back to the plate if that were the case. He reaches for that one, pops it foul to the right, and now to play again. Big hole up the middle. Curley at third, Rojas at second, Silvestro at first. And this is lined into left center field. This is going deep, and this is going to go to the wall. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. Coming around third, and actually being held, but Silvestro runs through the stop sign, and that's actually going to be a ground rule double as it got caught in the ivy. So too bad for Silvestro. He has to hold at third, but it is a 2-run double for Chris Ruaco. Curley and Rojas score. And it is 10-2. Great job of hitting from being down 0-2 by Ruaco. And here's Wojtek for his second time this inning. And he takes down an away ball 1. And he's looking for a base hit to make it 10-run lead. On the outside corner, 1-1. Nobody warming behind Johnson. I'm surprised. This is into center field. Lozano makes the catch, and that finally ends the inning. But 10 men come to the plate, and 5 of them score. After 6.5, it is closing time for the Blue Sox. It is the Blue Sox 10 and the Merchants 2. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow Local Sports Productions on the web at www.localsportsproductions.com, facebook.com/localsportsproductions, and on Twitter at LSP37. New pitcher for the Blue Sox is Drew Leanhout, who is in need of some work, I guess. You wouldn't normally bring him in an 8-run game, but he misses for ball 1 to Anthony Cesari. This is grounded down the first base line and foul 1-1. Drew making his third appearance, first since June 19th. He's thrown 4 innings, allowed 3 hits, 1 run, which was unearned, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Swing and a miss at a pitch upstairs, and it's 1-2. Drew pitched 1 inning of relief against Somerville on June 8th, and then pitched 3 innings against Andre in that loss on the 19th. That's a breaking ball that drops in for strike 3 called. Good roundhouse curveball there, and there's 1 down. I'll bring up Paul McGonigal, who singled and scored an unearned run his last time up in the 5th. That was the last time the Merchants were on the board, and they tied the game at that point, but how things have changed since that point. So 1-0 the count now. Leanhout's working quickly, and this is lined into center field, and this will get down in front of Costello for a base hit. So McGonigal is 2 for 3, and it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter for the Merchants, as it looks like it's going to be Mike Guanchi. Mike Guanchi pinch hitting for Joe Barry, and Guanchi takes strike 1. Guanchi is making his first appearance of the season for the Merchants. He swings and misses at a pitch down and away, and it's 0-2 rather. And he pops this one foul to the right and out of play. It remains 0-2. Leanhout's had a phenomenal year last year with the Blue Sox and was ICL postseason pitcher of the year. Threw a no-hitter in the postseason against the Royals. Check swing, he went around, says the home plate umpire, and with first base occupied, he cannot try for first. So 2 strikeouts in the inning for Leanhouts, and the Merchants are down to their final out, and it will not be in the person of Luis Tarantino. It will be in the person of Vin Nardone. And Nardone takes strike 1. Nardone has played in 5 games this season, bagged .308 with 2 RBIs and a double. And he skies this one on the infield. Russo camping under it. He makes the catch, and the ball game is over. So, in a game that took 1 hour and 43 minutes, the winning pitcher is Borja Jones Barasaluthe. He also gets a blown save, and he improves to 1-0. The losing pitcher is Kyle McCarthy, and he falls to 0-1. The final totals for the victorious Lexington Blue Sox, who improve to 5-3-1, 10 runs, 15 hits, 1 error, and 5 men left. And for the Wakefield Merchants, who fall to 5-4, 10 points. They scored 2 runs on 6 hits, committed 3 errors, and stranded 4. Our players of the game are Justin Silvestro, who went 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs. And Thomas Russo went 3 for 4 with a double and 3 runs scored. So there's the offensive outburst the Blue Sox were hoping for by this point in the season. And it's a big one that'll build their confidence with 3 games in 3 days starting Tuesday. And we'll have all three of those games this week here on Local Sports Productions. They've got Tuesday at Somerville, Wednesday at home against Reading, and then Thursday at home against Andre. So a good confidence-boosting win for the Blue Sox, especially on the offensive front. So with that said, this has been a presentation of the Lexington Blue Sox in association with Local Sports Productions, serving Greater Boston student-athletes since 2011. Getting distracted by all this yelling behind me. I don't know what it's about. It's Joe Silvestro. Copyright 2017, unauthorized redistribution of any portion of this broadcast without the express written permission of the Lexington Blue Sox or Local Sports Productions is strictly prohibited. Coverage of Blue Sox baseball on LSP continues Tuesday night at 8:10 p.m. when the Blue Sox travel to Trumfield in Somerville to take on the Somerville Royals. Listen or watch live at localsportsproductions.com/live. Then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on YouTube. And be sure to follow Local Sports Productions on Facebook.com/localsportsproductions, Twitter at LSP37, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. Once again, the final score from Walsh Field in Wakefield, Mass. It is the Lexington Blue